Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this slow flow vinyasa practice that you might do in the morning. Find some more energy. Just always listen to your body, listen to your breath, and find variations where you need to. And let's get started. Come to the front of your mat and stand in a Tadasana. You might lift your toes, spread your toes, and lower them back down. You might press your hands gently together, lengthen through your spine as you ground down through your feet. You might set an intention for your practice today and begin to tune into your breath. Root down energetically into the earth as you lengthen up through your spine all the way to the crown of your head. On your next inhale, reach your arms out and up. And as you exhale, nice long spine. Hinge from your hips, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to here to keep that long spine. Press into the balls of your feet and say hello to those hamstrings. Inhale, come up halfway. Bend your knees, step your right foot back, and lower your back knee down. You might stay on your fingertips here or reach for your blocks, preparing for some cat-cow lunges. Tuck your back toes, look forward, slightly arching the spine here in cow lunge. Exhale, straightening your legs, lengthening your spine. You might drop the back heel and lift the front toes. You might have your knees bent a little bit, especially the front one, for cat lunge. Inhale, cow lunge, bend your knees, look forward, back knee might hover or gently touch. Exhale, straighten your legs, lengthen through your spine, cat lunge. One more. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, come forward, lower your back knee down, release those toes, set your blocks aside if you were using them. Reach your arms forward and up, Anjaneyasana. Lengthen through your spine, lift your heart, and breathe here. Take another inhale here, turn your palms forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart with a ha. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, plant your hands, framing your front foot, tuck the back toes, lift your back knee. Step back into plank, and then exhale, downward dog. Find your variation. You might bend the knees a lot, externally rotating the upper arms. Take your hips up and back as you take your heels towards the earth. Breathe here. One more breath. And then inhale, come forward into a plank. Lower your knees down, lower all the way to the mat. For Cobra, Bhujangasana, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart, look straight ahead, shoulders back and down away from your ears. Exhale, lower down, arms by your side, one arm by your side, then the other. Palms towards your legs or palms towards the floor, thumbs out. Lengthen through your spine, reaching long through your spine, and then lift for Shavasana, locust. So either palms towards your thighs or towards the floor. Breathe here, draw the belly in, lengthen and then lift. Core is active, belly away from the mat. And then lower the legs, hands under your shoulders, press up into table. Send your hips slightly back into puppy. Draw the belly in slightly, lengthen through your spine. Support your head if it doesn't quite make it to the mat. You can press gently into your hands. Melting heart pose, Anantasana or puppy. Inhale, come back up, hands under your shoulders or slightly in front. Tuck your toes, reach your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Adjust your feet as you need to. And then inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, hover your knees over the mat. Draw your belly in. And then inhale, three-leg dog. Right leg reaches high. Press through that heel. And then as you exhale, bring that right foot through in between your hands. Either move your left hand forward on the mat or use a block under that hand and inhale, twist to your right. Breathe here. Exhale, lower that right hand down. Step your back foot up about a few inches, ground the heel, and rise into Warrior One. Virabhadrasana 1, ground through that back heel, lengthen through your low back. Lift your heart. Exhale, lower the hands down. Maybe reach for your blocks or stay on fingertips. Step the back foot up about a foot, lower the heel for pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Lengthen through that spine again. Take that front hip crease back. Front knee might have a little bend in it. Pyramid pose, nice long spine. Feel those hamstrings again. Exhale, bend that front knee, move your blocks forward. And then inhale, come into a standing L. Draw the belly in, press through that lifted heel of the left foot as you lengthen through your spine. And then bend your standing knee, bring your left foot slightly to the outside of your right heel. Bring your hands to your heart for a Shiva squat. You can stay here, almost like a chair pose with the upper body, so you're not hinging way forward. To make it more challenging, bring more weight into that right foot, keep that right knee bent. Maybe come onto the tippy toes of the left foot. Maybe lift the left foot up. This is challenging. You're going to feel that outer hip. Exhale, chair pose. Oh, that's a relief now, right? Who knew chair pose could be a resting pose? Find your breath, weight in your heels, arms where they make sense to you, either out in front of you or at your heart. On your next inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to your heart. Pause here in Tadasana for a few breaths while I switch sides. And then other side. Take an inhale. Reach your arms up. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Nice long spine. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, step your left foot back, lower your back knee down. Again, maybe reach for your blocks, or you can stay on fingertips. It's totally up to you. Keep your back toes tucked, look forward, cow lunge. Exhale, straightening your legs as much as makes sense to you, cat lunge. Long spine, lift the front toes if you'd like, drop the back heel. Inhale, come forward, cow lunge, looking forward. Exhale, cat lunge. One more, inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, come forward, lower the back knee down, set your blocks aside. Anjaneyasana, reaching the arms up. Lengthen through your spine. Lift your heart, lift your gaze if that feels good to you. And then palms forward, take an inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Frame your front foot. Tuck the back toes. Lift your back knee. Step back into plank. And then exhale, downward dog. Again, any movement here that feels good to you. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Lower your knees all the way down to your belly. Preparing for Cobra. Inhale, rise. Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down. Bring one arm, then the other by your side, preparing for Locust Shavasana. Palms towards your legs. Arms are active, fingers active, spreading wide, or palms towards the earth. Lengthen and then lift. Draw the belly button away from the mat. Lengthening, growing taller. Legs are active, upper back is active. Appreciating your strength. Lower the legs, hands under your shoulders. Press up through table. Puppy pose. Reach your hands slightly forward if you'd like. Use support under the head if the forehead doesn't quite make it to the mat. Draw your belly in. Breathe here. On your next inhale, come up. Bring your hands slightly closer towards your knees. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Adjust as you need to. Maybe feet come in a little closer. Lengthen through your spine. Knees might be bent a little. Find your variation. Take your heart towards your toes. So avoid any flexion in your spine here. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, hover your knees. Engage your core. And then inhale, the left leg high. Three-leg dog. Press through the heel. Exhale, bring that left foot through in between your hands. Preparing for low lunge twist. Move your right hand slightly forward. Inhale, twist to your left. Breathe here. Keep that spine nice and long. Exhale, lower that left hand down. Step the back foot up just slightly to lower the heel. Preparing for Warrior One. So the back heel is grounded. Inhale, rise. Warrior One. Grounding through that back heel. If you feel like you're more on a balance beam, you might have to sort of widen that front foot a little bit. Make sure you feel stable here. Lift your heart, ground that tailbone towards the back heel. And exhale. Slowly lower the hands down, lift the back heel, step the back foot up about a few more inches, lower the heel. Maybe reach for your blocks. Parsvottanasana. Pyramid pose. Again, nice long spine. Draw your belly in. Might bend that front knee a little. Take that front hip crease back. Lengthen through your spine. Say hello to those hamstrings again. And then bend your front knee. Move your blocks forward. Lift your right leg up, standing L. Press through your right heel. Lengthen through your spine. Get a good view of my plant here. And then exhale, bend your standing leg, bring your right foot slightly to the outside of your left heel, hands to your heart, Shiva squat. Bend that standing leg. You can stay here, or for more challenge, lift the right foot up, right knee towards the mat. Try to keep your heart lifted. Great to increase that strength in your outer hip. If it's too much, especially for the knee, lower the foot down. And then chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight to your heels. Little relief here. Another inhale here. Exhale, press into your feet. And inhale, slowly come back up. Hands to your heart. Pause in Tadasana. Notice your breath. And then take a wide stance on your mat. Have your blocks maybe along the long side of your mat. Feet parallel, about 3 feet wide. Turn your toes out, heels in. Hands to your heart, come into Goddess. So make sure that your knees are in the same direction as your toes and your knees feel okay. You decide how far you go here. Press gently into your feet. And maybe come into Fierce Goddess. Elbows can be down a little bit, whatever feels good. Take another breath here. Exhale through the feet. And then inhale, straighten your legs, straighten your arms, 5-pointed star. Expanding out. Notice how that feels. And then exhale, lower your arms, parallel your feet. Hinge from your hip crease, come into a wide leg forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Long spine, hands might come to the blocks. You might stay in the halfway point, or you might hinge from the hips to go a little deeper. Just make sure your hands are still supporting you in some way. Press into your feet, feel your thighs, draw the kneecaps up if your legs are straight. If your knees are a little bent, that's totally fine too. And you might consider having a block to rest your head on. That's always sort of nice if that feels good in your neck. That can make this pose instantly more calming. One or two more breaths here. And then inhale, come back up. Pause here at the halfway point. And then thoughtfully heel toe and then feet a little closer. Lower down, come to a seat. Set the blocks aside. From sitting cross-legged, keep your left leg where it is and take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh and let that right sits bone come slightly forward. Take your right hand back behind you, left hand on your outer right knee or leg, whatever makes sense to you. Nice long spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, come forward, and then exhale, release. Switch sides, so bend your right leg, take your left foot across the left thigh and let your left sits bone come slightly forward. Left hand goes behind you for support. Right hand on that outer left leg, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, unwind, and exhale, release. Straightening your legs out in front of you. Inhale, lift your arms up, lead with your heart, hinge from your hips. Come into Paschimottanasana, hands on either side of your legs, wherever it makes sense to you. Keep your spine long. Slowly on your next inhale, bring yourself back up, bend your knees, lower down onto your back. Coming into constructive rest. Feet about hip distance apart. You might feel with your fingertips the back of your heels. And then turn your palms up. Press into your feet, lift the hips. You might bend the elbows, palms facing each other as you lengthen your spine. Press into your feet and isometrically draw those heels towards your shoulders as you lift those hips up. Lengthen your tailbone. Press into the upper arms. Keep space in the throat and neck, looking straight up. Any variation with the arms, you might lower them and clasp them underneath, pressing into the arms and hands to lift maybe a little bit higher. And then thoughtfully release your hands if they're clasped. Lower the hips down. From constructive rest, you might bring one ankle over one thigh. Lift that foot up, holding behind that opposite thigh. Draw that foot and ankle and knee towards you, getting into that outer hip that we worked so hard in Shiva squats. Notice how that stretch feels. Find your variation here. Make sure there's no strain in your neck. You might benefit from having a blanket under your head in this position. You wouldn't want that blanket under your head in bridge pose though. And then thoughtfully release that foot down, uncross that ankle, take your other ankle over the opposite thigh. Keep that ankle active, lift that foot up off the mat, hold behind that other thigh, drawing that thigh and ankle towards you, and notice how this hip feels. Getting a stretch in that outer hip that we were working. Notice how this feels. Send your breath into the area of that outer hip where you feel the most sensation. And then thoughtfully lower that lifted foot down, release, come back into constructive rest. Bring your knees towards each armpit, getting a nice stretch, or you might find a happy baby. Or you might just bring your knees together and give yourself a hug. And then release one leg and then the other and come into your Shavasana. Invite your whole body to relax and release. Let your legs be heavy and soft. Notice your hips and invite your hips to relax and release. Envision space between each vertebrae. Relax your back. Soften your shoulders and arms. Let your head be heavy. Soften all the muscles in your face, especially around your eyes, and let go. Gently bring your awareness back to being on your mat. Notice your body, notice your breath, and observe your mind. Whenever you feel ready, begin to make small movements, wiggling your fingers, toes, whatever would delight you. Eventually bend one knee and then the other, and make a thoughtful transition, rolling over to your right side or whichever side you prefer. Pause there for a breath or two. And when you feel ready, slowly make your way back up to a comfortable seat. And with appreciation for your efforts and your focus, bring your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.